Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Monday, which means it's time for a 5x5. This is where I take 5 topics related to magic. I spend 5 minutes talking about each topic. And at the end of the 5 minutes, I move on to the next topic. It's always quick, it's always snappy. You never know what you're going to get. And today, I'm going to be doing another live performance special. So we're going to have 6 segments here today, not 5 segments. And the idea is I'm going to take 3 clips of me performing at an actual gig. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play those 3 clips for you. After each clip, I'm going to play the clip again, but this time I'm going to put a commentary track over the top. Because I firmly believe that the best way to learn and the best way to get better is by studying your own footage and looking at other people's footage as well, and looking at performances. We can always improve. The day that we stop thinking that we can improve is the day that I'm going to get out of this industry. It's as simple as that. So I've been around for a long time. Hopefully listening to the commentary over these videos might help you guys with something that I'm aware of that you might not be. I'm not too sure. But these videos always tend to be really popular. So I'm going to do another live performance 5x5 special, and it's going to start right now.
Sorry? Alicia. Okay. I'm going to ask you a question you've probably never been asked before. Maybe. Would you like to examine my fork? Of course, I can tell you. Please contain your enthusiasm just for a second. Very good. Take the fork, have it. Put that card down for a minute. There you go. Have a look at the fork. Check it out. Make sure it's a real fork. Make sure there's nothing weird about it. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's really
well, yeah. If you do that, you can. You guys take your time and get paid by the hour. You do what you want to do. I'm good. Right, good. What I want you to do is put your initials right there on the bowl of the fork.
Okay.
And then on the other side, at the other end, do the same thing and put your initials. There is a reason I get you to do that, and the reason is it makes the fork unique. So in other words, even if there are a million forks in the world, and let's face it, there probably are, this is the only one with your initials on. So whether I hold it this way or this way, you can see the initials the whole time. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Now, has anybody ever heard of somebody called Uri Geller?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a guy from Israel. He bends things with the power of his mind. He bends knives, forks, spoons, cutlery. He's basically, no, he's a professional bender. That's what he does for a living. Yeah, he's a bender. I'm not going to do this. You are. Do you have a good imagination? If you haven't, can you imagine you have? That would be good. What I want you to do is say bend. A little bit louder.
Bend.
That's right, and slightly more magical. Well, that's so good. If I was a fork, I'd bend. That was amazing, wasn't it? All right, I'm going to take the fork and go up and down. Say bend. And again. Watch the prongs of the fork. 3, 2. No, I love the look on your face. You look like a rabbit caught in a headlight. Watch this. 3, 2, 1. It bends again. I know, right? And it really is real. Touch it. Look. Boom! I'm sorry. Let's try and bend it back. Well, of course you can if you put enough force into it. We're going to go one step further. You see, if I really use strength, I can bend it. But that's not what this is about. It's about doing it without actually physically bending it. Squeeze. I'm going to do this in your hand. No, that's fine, it's fine. Try and squeeze without stabbing yourself. No, that's fine, that's fine. That's fine, you're doing well. It's okay, it's all good. Watch, I'm going to take this. Don't lie to make me look good. Yeah. Not that you would, I can tell. Look, if I take this, if I do this, be honest with me, can you feel it twisting? You can feel it twisting, yeah? This is something you'll remember forever. Do you remember you put your initials there? And you put your initials on the other side? Now your initials, they're on the same side. And the reason is in your hand it twisted like a corkscrew. Open up your hand. Look at the twist right there. I know, right? Do me a favour, try and untwist it. Take that twist out. No, because unless you put it in a vice, you can't actually get the grip on it to be able to do that. So I'm going to go again. As I go up and down, say stop anytime you want. Watch the prongs of the fork. 3, 2, 1. That's one. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, but I go by the name of Craig, just so you know. It's bent and twisted in about 7 different places. It's still got your initials on. You can keep that as a souvenir. Give her a big, huge round of applause.
Okay, so this footage is taken at a wedding, and as you can see, it's during the drinks reception. And I've been there for about an hour and a half, and now I'm going over to the bridesmaids and sort of the mother of the bride. And there's a lot of people kind of sitting down, some people paying attention, some people not. This is kind of a really interesting video to watch because the challenge here is to get everyone's attention, to get everyone's interest. So I pick on somebody and I'm doing liquid metal here. This is Morgan Strieber's liquid metal, which is a fantastic routine. And my plan is to get her to actually do the whole routine. And although she's fine, she's not the most responsive spectator in the world. So you'll notice that I pick up on performance during the course of this trick.
I actually pick on the fact that the lady to the left of her is a much better reactor. And I found that really interesting. And you'll see me, even though the trick was initially started with her, you'll see me switch my performance over to the person in white halfway through the performance, and that's just because I know from experience that she's going to be a better reactor. And really, when you're performing, one of the key things is to get the person that you're performing to react really well, because if they react really well, everybody else will react really well as well. So, I mean, the big piece of advice I can give you from watching this one particular performance is don't be afraid to switch the focus of the trick to somebody else, even if it started off with, in this example, somebody signing a fork. It doesn't matter if you go somewhere else. And as you can see, I'm getting the person in pink to the right of me involved, and getting the person in the white to the left of me involved. When you're performing to a big group of people like this, and you've got people to the right, people in front of you, people to the left, the goal is to try and get everybody involved as much as possible to try and get the attention of the whole group. Now, liquid metal is an absolute classic of a routine. It's one that's been done for many, many years, and you know, it's Morgan Striebler's finest routine, in my opinion, and something that I've done and I continue to do and I will continue to do through my career. And one of the reasons is, A, it's so versatile, you're just carrying a fork around with you, but B, as well as it being so versatile, the magic is happening in the hands of the spectator. And this bend here, this twist bend, is a perfect example. Now, don't be afraid to go to a guy at this point and have him take the bend out, or try and take the bend out. Because, you know, I think in the entire time that I've done this, I've only ever had 1 or 2 people actually able to take the bend out. But it's that affirmation, that moment where you show that the bend cannot be taken out, that really kind of solidifies what you're trying to do. And you can see the group started off a little bit cold at the beginning of the performance, and at the end of the performance they're really invested in what they're seeing, they're really invested in the trick, they're really enjoying it. So yeah, I mean, the one piece of advice I can give you from watching this video, hopefully, is when you're performing to a group of people, make sure that everybody in that group is getting involved. Make sure you're going back and forth between various people and getting everybody involved. And don't be afraid to switch the focus of the person you're performing for if you think that the reactions are going to be better from somebody else. You're now going to see in the next sequence, you're going to see another routine that I perform to these people. So after doing liquid metal, I followed up with double cross. And I don't really perform double cross as much these days. Many years ago, I used to perform it all the time. I find that a lot of people do it these days, so I don't do it anywhere near as much. But I've had lots of people on the channel ask me to post a video of me doing double cross as a live performance piece. So that's what I'm going to do right now. That's going to be the next live performance.
We'll do one more as I've got you. Can someone hold her flat? I'm going to do this with you. I know that sounds weird. Hold your hands out for me. Palm down. Palm down. Palm down. A little bit. Yeah. Can you do me a favour? No, keep your hands palm down. I want you to make sure I don't cheat. Okay, what's your name?
Alicia.
Alicia. You're going to keep me honest. Okay, your job is to keep me honest. And what was your name? Bev. It's really important, Bev, for this trick to work, that this hand is the same distance away from this hand as this hand is from this hand. Don't think about that too much, I don't. Are you right or left-handed? Good memory. Drop your right hand to your side. You have to think about that for a second. And with your left hand, make a loose fist.
Yes.
Either that or too much drink.
I'm enjoying it.
Well, the more you drink, the better this looks. At the end of the night, I'm floating on the ceiling. Right, okay. This is a permanent marker pen. It is a genuine, real marker pen. It really is. Have a
All the same sort of ones, or
yeah, it's great. Now look, I'm gonna put an X on the back of my
try
hand.
and make it so it's much more varied, but with same sort of stuff.
same sort of stuff like you do.
You ready? Watch. No amount of rubbing will take permanent marker pen off your hand. Yeah. It just really, yeah. And the reason is, yeah, I know, but it makes no difference. Do you want to rub? Okay, good. I wouldn't if I were you. I don't know where my hand is. Watch the X. I'm going to do this. Watch the X. I'm going to do this. Now, when I do this, one of 3 things will happen.
Bev, smell his fingers.
Yeah, smell my fingers, Bev.
Oh, thank you very much.
If I do this, one of 3 things will happen. Either firstly, you will feel the same thing happening on the back of your hand even though I'm not touching you. That's called a psychic touch.
Permanent marker, I know on my skin.
No, it's not. It's on my skin.
I'm not on mine.
Don't worry, it wouldn't be. Second thing is, if I do this, you'll feel a tingling sensation inside your hand. Now that happens an awful lot. You'll feel your hand tingling. The other thing is, when I do this, sometimes you won't feel anything. Be honest with me, don't lie. Do you feel a tingling inside? You do, right? And you're not lying. Tell everyone the truth. You are feeling that tingling. And as I do this, you should start to feel it tingling a little bit more. A little bit more. Tell me when it starts tingling a little bit more.
Yeah, do you see?
It is tingling a little bit more. Now when I stop, it'll be weird, but you'll actually feel that whole thing stopping immediately. 1, 2, 3. Did you stop it? Is it stopped? Yeah. And that's when it happens. You see, that's when the X vanishes. Permanent marker pen. Now, that's a good trick, but look. Yeah, turn your hand over and over.
I said don't right on me.
I didn't. It happened by magic.
Yeah, it ain't going to come off. It's permanent marker.
It will if you just rub it enough. I mean.
So this is double cross, and the big piece of advice I can give you on this is prepping and setting the gimmick. The gimmick is set and prepped in the offbeat in between routines. A lot of people ask me when's the best time to get the gimmick set and prepped, and in between, with the reactions from the routine that I did before, which was liquid metal, that's when I take the gimmick and put it into position so that I can do the thing that I've got to do. And understanding off beats and making sure that anything that you do that you don't really want the spectators to focus on, that needs to happen on an offbeat a lot of the time. So notice that this is not the longest routine in the world, but it is like 2 or 3 minutes. And the reason is I want a lot of time misdirection between when I did the move and when the magic apparently happens. That's very important in most magic performances, but especially important in double cross. You have to understand the difference between the perceived moment of magic and the actual moment of magic, and you want to put as much distance in between those as possible. The perceived moment of magic is when the magic actually happens. In this case, when the X disappears and appears in her hand. The actual moment of magic is when I actually did that right at the very beginning of the routine. So there's a lot of presentation here to cover those 2 points. Now, the other thing is, don't be afraid to make a suggestion. Like you see me saying to this lady, you can feel a tingle in your hand, can't you? When I did double cross all the time, I used to do this every single performance, and every single performance people would say yes. And even now, in lots of other routines, I'll use the same technique. If you tell the spectator that they can feel something, they absolutely can. And this is a perfect example. I'm saying to this lady, you can feel a tingle in your hand, can't you? And she's saying yes. Now, obviously, there's nothing that I'm doing to create that tingle in that hand other than suggestion. But sometimes suggestion is powerful enough. And you can see how engaging this routine is. Now there's a whole bunch of other people that have come back and they're standing literally around me, which is a beautiful moment in this routine because all the dirty work is done. I don't have to do anything. Now, sometimes people underestimate the vanish right there, the vanish of the X, but don't underestimate the vanish. You saw the reaction to the X vanishing, and I do it a little bit differently to a lot of people. A lot of people have it inside the hand. I actually have it on top of the hand, and I just cover it up with my finger, and then just move my finger out the way and show it's gone. And, that's not for everybody. That's the perfect way for me to do it. I feel I get a cleaner vanish of the X by doing it that way, and also it kind of focuses everyone's attention of where the X is going to be when it vanishes. And then you have the moment where they open up their hand and the X is inside their hand, which is obviously an incredible moment. And in this particular routine, you saw that she opened the hand a little bit too quickly than I would have liked. Normally, I'd like to build that moment up and then get her to open her hand. But even if she does that, you got to roll with the punches. When you're a close-up magician, you can't control everything. In fact, there's a lot that you can't control, especially when it comes to audience members. So the best way to deal with that is to just roll with the punches. If they open up their hand early, then you just go with it, and that's probably one of the most important things that you can learn from this video. The art of suggestion, the importance of sort of suggesting something's happening, really kind of punctuating that moment of magic, understanding the offbeat and making sure that anything that you do that could be perceived dirty is happening in that offbeat. All of this is really important in order to make the routine as strong as it possibly can be.
Are you okay? Can you do me a favour? What's your name? Tracy, can you just give these cards a shuffle for me, Tracy? That would be amazing. When you finish shuffling them, though, can you put them back in the original order? Because it makes it so much easier. No, you don't have to do that. Are we good?
Yep.
Fantastic. And it was Tracy, right?
Yep.
Good. So Tracy, you're going to pick a card, okay? And you don't have to stand up. Your job's not that important, okay? The idea is really simple. I'm just going to riffle my thumb down the deck. You're going to say stop. Yeah. Wherever you say stop, that'll be your card. I'll show you and everybody else in the audience, okay? Yeah. So just say stop. Stop. That's great. Can you remember that card? Yeah. Hopefully everyone in the audience can see it. Can you see it there, Fred? There you go. Show it to the camera as well. It's very important that you remember that card because later on when I dramatically say, this is your card, if you go, I don't know, it loses its impact slightly. So Tracy, it's fairly important that you remember the card, or at least if you forget it, just lie and say yes, it'll make me look better, okay? So, Freya, we're gonna do some amazing magic with 3 coins, a pack of cards, and you. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? Because this is the moment that you're gonna remember forever. Tracy, have you got a good view of what's happening? Yes. Good. I'm gonna take the 3 coins, hold them in my hand. I promise you, at no point will I open this hand until the end of this particular thing, okay? Remember earlier on at the beginning, I made the coin jump from one hand to the other? I love that. I'm going to do it again. Oh, but I know, I'm going to do it again, but this time with 3 different coins, a copper, a silver, and a brass. Watch when I touch my thumbs together, the silver coin jumps into this hand. That's the first coin over there. That's the silver coin. I'll do it again with the brass coin. When I touch my thumbs together, the Chinese coin jumps over there. That's, I know. And Tracy, the last one. Are you ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. That's the brass coin. That's all 3 coins jump from one hand to the other. Isn't that pretty impressive, guys? What do you reckon? That's pretty good. But there's a problem with this trick, and let me explain what the problem is, because there is a problem. The problem is it was all over too quickly, right? So I'm going to go really slowly. I'm going to do it one-handed with one of the coins. Are you ready? The silver coin. No, we'll go for the copper coin. That's harder. Watch this. The copper coin. I just take the copper coin. Tracy, when you say go. Don't. Gone. But it doesn't jump into my other hand. Do you know where it goes? Where? It goes underneath the card box over there. Oh my God. I know. Let's do it again because, like, why not? This time. Can you make it go in my hand? What? Can you make it go in my hand? Later. I promise. Where did you find her, Tracy? Tracy, focus. When you say go, the next silver coin will go. Don't. Oh my God. Yes. No. Oh my God. I know, right? That's the silver. That's the copper. The last one is the Chinese coin. You can do me a favor here. You can hold on to my wrist. Oh my God, okay. Okay, now it can't go up the sleeve. Yeah. Tracy, when you say go, the last one will go. Go. Do you want to pick the box up yourself? That's all 3 coins right there. Wow. But you know what? I'm going to go one step further because I want the entire audience to love this and go crazy and go nuts. So hold your hand out for me. I'm going to put the box right there. And we'll use just the silver coin. I'll get rid of the other 2. And I'll make that silver coin go right there underneath the box. Oh my God. I know. Now, you show everyone there's nothing under there right now, is there? No. Nothing under there at all. Nothing in this hand. Nothing up the sleeve. Watch the silver coin underneath the box. Tracy, one last time when you say go. Go. I know. If it was under there, would that be great? Oh my God, yeah. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah. That's what you've always... You're going to pick this up, and if it's under there, it's going to be crazy. Pick up the box. Have a look. No way. Is it there? No. Of course it's not. It's not. Come on. I'm not Dynamo. I can't do that. But here's what I can do. Here's what I can do. Look, this box has been in your hand the whole time. At the very beginning, you picked a card. The card didn't go under the box. But now there's a gap in the deck. And there's a reason why. If I take the cards out and I cut at that gap, that coin has gone right there into the center of the deck, halfway down. But Tracy, it's gone halfway down next to one card. Get ready to lose your shit, Tracy. Are you ready? Yeah. Oh my God. Wow. That was all right, wasn't it? Go on, your turn. Do it.
Okay, so the footage that you're seeing right now is shot at Houdini's, which is a magic bar down in Kent. And I was actually lucky enough to do the live performances for the Mirage coin set at Houdini's, and it was a wonderful venue to perform in. had an absolute blast, and it really kind of elevated the Mirage coin set. However, it's kind of a bit of a strange performing environment, and the reason is this is actually a really big bar and a really big room, and I was performing to I brought a volunteer up on stage, as you can see, so I had one person helping me, but I had a massive room that I was having to play to. So you'll see throughout this performance that there's moments where I'm kind of asking people in the audience a question. I'm trying to get everyone involved, even though they're quite far away, and I'm doing close-up magic, which I had to do because obviously we're doing the performances for the Mirage coin set. So that was kind of a really interesting situation. And you will find yourself in a situation like that from time to time. It does happen. And if it does happen, there's a couple of pieces of advice I can give you. And the first is get 1 or 2 spectators up to help you, because their reaction, and focus on getting them to react really well. If they react really well, the rest of the audience will react really well as well. Even if they can't see completely everything that's going on, they will react because the spectator up in front reacts. The other thing is, learn some stage magic. I became a better close-up magician when I learned how to do stage magic. There's certain principles and techniques that you learn as a stage magician that you don't learn as a close-up magician. But once you actually learn them, you can apply them in close-up magic so well. And I would always advise anyone to learn how to do stage magic. And this is a perfect example. I've seen close-up magicians really struggle in this sort of environment. But you will find quite often, as a close-up magician, you do have to play your performances to a big group. And having the ability to do that is really important. So if there's one thing you can get from this video, it's learn how to do stage magic. Now, this particular routine is a kind of an interesting routine. There's 3 phases. There's a coins across, then there's a coins under box, and then there's a location of a selected coin. It started off just as the location, and then over the course of a decade, it changed to what we have here now. And I'm a big fan of multi-phase routines, things like the ambitious card, card under box, card to pocket, anything like that. I love it. I love routines where there's lots of phases and each phase builds. I think the important thing is each phase has to build. If you do it once, that's great, but I think the impossibility of certain routines is that you're doing it again and again and again. And this is a perfect example. But there's a couple of things that I want you to bear in mind with this. And the first thing is, this was part of a 40-minute set, and I think this was the final routine of a 40-minute set. So because of that, because this is part of a 40-minute set, the first routine that I'd done was a coins across. So at the beginning of this particular routine, I wanted to differentiate as much as possible between that first coins across and the one that we're about to see here as the first phase of this routine. So you hear me focusing on aspects that are different, like, hey, I've got 3 coins from 3 different parts of the world. I'm going to close my hand around these coins and I'm not going to open up my hand again until the routine is over. Really important. I want to establish that this is very different to what they've seen before. Now, the second phase, I said that each phase has to build. It does. The second phase, in essence, is very similar to the first phase in the fact that the coins are going from one place and they're going somewhere else, right? So the way to make this second phase different is by doing everything really slowly. And you actually see me say, everything's going to go really slow. I'm going to do this one-handed. And it allows you to follow up from the first phase to a second phase, which is essentially the same, but doing it in what the audience perceives to be a very different way. Now, the final phase is a coin vanishing and appearing in the deck. And obviously that was set up right at the very beginning of the routine where someone picked a card. I really do like top and tailing routines like this. I really do like having something that happens at the beginning that then comes full circle at the end. In this example, the first thing I do is I have someone pick a card. I then do all of this crazy coin manipulation. And then I finish off by showing the coins gone into the deck next to the selected card. I've talked in openers, I've talked in videos on this channel about opening routines and closing routines and structure of routines and having everything go full circle. And this is a perfect example. It brings everything back full circle to the very beginning of the trick where I actually had the cards selected at the very beginning. It also gives the routine a finale. The coins have jumped across, they've jumped across again. Well, you need a finale. You need a moment where the spectators go, okay, that is definitely the end of this trick. And that's what we have there. You can tell that this is definitely the end, because how can you go on from that? So I think if there's anything you can learn from this video, it's the importance of structure of routine. It's the importance of thinking about a whole act and how you're going to structure it out, and how you're going to have each phase build, and how you're going to call back from one routine to another. We've talked on the channel before about hook lines. We've talked about transitions from one routine to the other. All of this stuff is very important, and it's what you see in this routine throughout the course of this trick.
So there you go, guys. That's another 5x5 in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me right here on Magic TV. Don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again tomorrow at 6 o'clock with a Magic Live, and 9 o'clock with another video. There's tons coming up on Magic TV. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.